Yay, me and Jim are always so happy when we actually get to play. And, you know, the last couple of weeks, Jim, you know, we've had some amazing guests. I was looking at who we had come on, you know, recently, whether it was Connor Self, BC Helms, Aaron Paulier, Eric Campbell, Chris Birch, Al Spader. We've had quite the run over the last few weeks, but, you know, I always feel bad for you, Jim, because, you know, you spend all this time on the game and you rarely get to play it.
Yeah. I mean, I tell you, this whole year, I mean, actually it's been the last so December, November, December, January have been really crazy challenging for me. Not so much from Modifius, but just like life and day job and just things going on that have been really super challenging. And then, you know, I've been working my butt off with Star Trek Adventure stuff, which is great because I love to have that release. I love to have that pressure valve to do something cool and fun, but I still don't get as much time to play the game as I want to. So like I saw our session tonight on the schedule and I was like, oh, I can't wait. Because this is like actually focused, dedicated time that I block off to do an episode of, you know, continuing conversations. But not only that, but we actually get to play. So I'm super amped. I try to be excited anyway, but, I'm just excited because like I know you and I've got some cool stuff going on here, and I'm enjoying the story of the Saratoga and my captain and your XO. So I'm excited to continue this story here. Let's do it.
All right, before we jump in, let's make some introductions. I'm Michael Dismuke. I am this conversation never ends, but I got to remember that people might be tuning in for the first time. I'm Michael Dismuke. I am a freelance writer for Star Trek Adventures RPG, in addition to being the lead writer on Captain's Log, which we're playing tonight. I'm also one of the many bloggers on Continuing Missions, which proudly claims ourselves as being the #1 fan site for Star Trek Adventures and Captain's Log. We have such a good, loyal following there, plus a lot of fans who post stuff, so we love them all. And of course, this show could not happen without Jim Johnson.
Hey everybody, Jim Johnson. I am the project manager and line editor for the Star Trek Adventures RPG and the Captain's Log solo RPG, both published by Modifius Entertainment. And I am super excited to be playing this game tonight with Michael. One thing I want to say, though, I mean, we are recording this at the end of January. This will be released sometime February.
February 16th. Yeah.
February 16th. I should let everybody know we discovered a very minor error in the Modifius website the other day. Apparently, the reprints of Captain's Log, the original series, Next Gen, and DS9 books were all reprinted, of course, over the holidays, and the shipping happened over the holidays. They are actually in distribution now, so they are available at the warehouses in both the UK and the US. However, we discovered that the websites were reflecting coming soon and stock coming soon, that kind of thing. So we've updated the websites. The stock is out there. If you've been patiently or impatiently waiting for the books to get back in stock, they're available now. So go grab them. Of course, the PDF has been available for the whole time. But if you're anxious for a hardcover copy, and why wouldn't you be? Because it's a beautiful piece of work. Go get yourself a copy. The Discovery book is the one we did not reprint. And I think if we're able to get another reprint going here in the next few months, I think we'll definitely try to add some Discovery copies to that reprint, mostly because I know that there's been some gentle fan demand for that, and plus it's a beautiful cover. I think that's actually my favorite of the four, although that original series one with the moray,
sorry, moray got me.
DS9, but man, that original series one just draws me in every time I look at it. It's like, woo,
it's hypnotizing. It is.
Yeah.
So speaking of which, of course, tonight we're going to continue the adventures of the U.S.S. Saratoga. If you all want to know what the adventures have happened so far, go to Continuing Mission and type in Saratoga into the search bar, and you will see our other episodes with it. We are now officially on episode 3 of the U.S.S. Saratoga, which is a Picard-era starship, a Reliant class starship with the Captain Genemot, who is an Anar, and the XO, First Officer Fofim, a female Talaxian. Yes, a Talaxian. That's okay, because this is Picard-era, and they've made it this way from the Delta Quadrant. And we've had some exciting adventures so far, right, Jim?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just it. No, we've done 3 episodes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it was the The second one that was really crazy because that was the one where
they got to go watch it. They got to go watch it.
Oh yeah. Okay, no spoiling.
It's already there. We don't need to
It's been a fun ride
re-summarize
so far. So
exactly.
I don't know how long we're going to keep doing this, but there's no reason to stop. So
exactly, there's no reason to stop. So
I don't know if we should. We haven't even really talked about any kind of like story arc or anything for the season. So I don't. Maybe we can figure that out sometime.
Yeah, we're doing episode by episode just in case people don't watch these in order. That's why.
Very TOS. Very Correct. TOS, Strange New Worlds kind of vibe. Just
exactly. Grab your Jello, your popcorn. You're on your shag carpet in the 70s, and you get what you get with the USS Saratoga. Downstairs with the wood paneling,
all that, and the wooden geese with the brass.
Yes, and while your mom lets the red tricycle sit in the living room, you don't know it's just there. Okay,
you got a lime green phone on the stand.
Oh, and refrigerator and clunky dishwasher that never works.
Yeah, and the house phone has the cord that spirals the wrong direction.
I choked on it 3 times exactly. I was clotheslined by it 22 times. Okay,
we are dating ourselves.
We are. So let's do this real quick. I think it's fair to do a quick run through of our characters real quick because we have built and made some changes. You're the captain. You go first. Can you just go through and introduce us with the focuses and the values that your captain has at this point?
Yeah, you bet. So just as a refresher for those of you who've been listening and forgotten, and for new people, we decided to use the creation and play method, which I think the more I mess with it, the more I like, oh, this is the way it should be, because you're discovering the character as you play, just like watching the TV show. You're discovering the character episode by episode. You don't get a full blown character, boom, right in the beginning. They start, the writers and the actors add nuances and add details as they go. So anyway, Captain Jinamat is an ANAR captain, of course, commanding the U.S.S. Saratoga. Reliant class vessel in the Picard-era. So far, I've got 4 of their disciplines identified. They have Command 4, Science 4, Security 3, Medicine 2, and the other 2 yet to be determined. 2 values have been identified at the moment: never leave a stone unturned, and our tradition gives us our vision, which I really like. And right now they have 3 focuses identified. 3 of the 6 focuses have been identified: diplomacy, unorthodox mathematics, and spatial awareness. And that was
a cool one last time. That was a cool development.
Yeah. And we don't use talents in this game, so we don't actually have any talents. So that is it for my character. And then I guess I'll just do a quick blurb on the ship. The ship hasn't changed. Solid statistics right out of Utopia Planitia, if I remember right.
Yep.
And Captain's Log actually is in the Captain's Log book. 4 talents for the ship: extensive shuttle bays, one of which is named the McCarver, as a nod to Christopher McCarver, one of our longtime STA writers. Improved hull integrity, improved warp drive, and high power tractor beam.
Very good.
Over to the XO.
All right, XO is Faux Femme, again, Talaxian commander of the Saratoga. I decided this time to finish off all the disciplines. Jim, I said this would be suspenseful if I did it. So Command 3, Con 2, Security 4, Engineering 1, Science 2, Medicine 4. With the focuses so far of evacuation procedures, Klingon culture, which we really saw in play last episode, go check it out, and psionics, which we really saw in last game, check it out. And I decided something I'm going to do fun today is after we roll up our mission, I'm going to add a focus right away that matches that mission just for funsies. And then the values, I always had, I can make something from nothing, which we really used last mission. And I decided because of last mission, I added a new value this time called I will break the rules for family. Because I think that really matched last time, even if that's extended family or friends. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and share my note-taking screen here. So as we go along, I kind of keep the notes going. I'm going to share my Google Doc. So give me 1 second to do that. There we go. Can you see that, Jim?
It's coming up right now. Yep, there it is.
Okay, perfect. So with that shared, I love it. Since I take the notes, we have a tradition where Jim goes ahead and starts the roll. So this would take us over to page 257, where we have to decide our mission type. This is one of the most fun types, parts of the game.
I know, right? This just never gets old.
It doesn't.
And I love that you're giving me the page numbers. I appreciate that.
No
So
problem.
I'm using my hard copy. I don't want to keep looking. I only have so much screen real estate. So I've got my character sheet, I've got your notes, and I've got my book.
Well, I'm smart now. Just so you know, I've actually taken the page and it's in front of me with all the page numbers for all these things to help us get faster through this.
You need to send me that document.
All I did was snap the very last page of Captain's log, which has all the page references on it. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We made a quick reference, didn't we?
We did. And that is on the very last page. Okay. So anyways, mission type. Go ahead and roll it for us.
All right, here we go. Okay. I got my, I'm using the command dice.
Okay.
Actually, these are original series / Strange New Worlds command dice, but you know what? They're handy. So I'm going to go with it.
Yep.
All right. Our mission type is near space exploration.
Yay.
And then we'll go into the weeds on that a little bit. That is on page 262. And we're going with
What?
a sojourn back to the homeworld.
Which? Ooh, Andoria?
But which homeworld? My
okay.
Home, your homeworld?
Oh, wait. Oh, we have to roll on the 50-50 probability matrix.
Oh, well, yeah, it's our characters, right?
Yeah, and let me tell you what's weird about this, Jim, because if we go back to Andoria, that's cool, because I would love to go to Andoria. I've never been there before. But if we go back to the Talaxian homeworld, it's actually the asteroid. Remember, that was where they all ended up at, was the asteroid on the border of the Delta Quadrant.
Okay. All right, so 50-50, 1 to 10 Captain, 11 to 20 XO.
That's right.
And I rolled a 15. We're going back to the asteroid, baby.
Oh my God. Back to Talax. And you know what's so weird about this, Jim? Do you know why this makes so much sense?
Why?
The
family stuff.
No, last episode, we had taken Neelix to Earth.
That's right.
Now we have to take him back using our quantum. Wait, do we have quantum slipstream drive? We must.
The Reliant? No, I don't think the Reliant does.
I think we may need to swap out a talent, bro.
We may have to. Let's take a look at the talent list here.
I think we need quantum slipstream drive to make this possible.
Well, maybe make a note. Maybe
I think we need to give up. I think we need to give up one of our talents. We are allowed to do this. We can say we went back to Earth. We went to Starbase 1. That we had a retrofit. This is some gap in time. Maybe we were there for like 2 months chilling out,
I'm thinking there might be, maybe there's a reason. Maybe there's a need for us to go back to the Talaxian homeworld. And maybe Starfleet said, well, wait a minute, we need you back there relatively quickly. We're going to drag your ship into dry dock, do some refits. Or not a refit, but like make some modifications.
Okay, so let's do this. Do this, Jim. We know that this is the case. We're still going to have to roll everything else to figure out what the encounter is. But I think right now we need to choose which one of our talents we need to swap out for QST.
Okay, well, first I need to look at the Starship talent matrix, because I don't think we actually put the quantum slipstream drive in here. Did we decide? Did we add?
I'm pretty sure we did.
I'm looking at the list on 174. Maybe it's improved. It's not improved warp drive. Do we have an alternate warp?
You know what? This is Captain's log, so we don't have to be that exact. It's just the talent. It doesn't have any dice associated with it. I think we make that call as writers that we're getting QSD.
We don't have to worry about the details.
No, you don't have to worry about that. This is our game.
Oh gosh.
Okay, so high power. We could either roll on it if we roll with the 20-sided dice, 1 through 5, 6 through 10. We could go through and decide which of our talents. So I'm going to write the talents down, or I'll mention the talent.
I got the list right in front of me. Just looking at these 4.
Yeah.
I think we can let the high power tractor beam go.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
So I'm marking that off.
So we'll respec here. We're uninstalling the high power tractor beam, and we are installing a
slipstream
experimental.
Yep.
Experiment. I can't even spell tonight.
Out with high. I'm
slipstream drive.
Yep. Out with high.
For those of you who are curious, following along at home, the quantum slipstream drive. If you have your handy dandy copy of Utopia Planitia, that is detailed in Utopia Planitia, because a couple of the ships in Utopia Planitia, including the Vesta,
And I want to point out, you said experimental, but I believe by 2410, it's no longer experimental. Remember, the entire book series beta canon made it. The Aventine had quantum slipstream drive, as did the entire fleet.
Huh. Well, so here's a question for you, my friend.
Sure.
The Reliant in Utopia Planitia actually has a quantum slipstream drive listed as a special rule, not a talent.
Well, there you go.
So that's we don't use special rules in Captain's Log specifically. So I could almost make a case that we keep the
I agree.
That we keep the high power tractor beam and just call it the QSD
special.
Just there.
It's it.
But we didn't think of it until now. So
done.
We'll just add it.
done. Right. Yeah, because remember, class is also a trait, which makes total sense to me. So if that is a trait of the Reliant QSD, then we get it. I like that. Okay.
Somewhere Nathan is smiling that you're using traits so much. You're right. Okay. I mean, that's the whole power of a trait is to be a catch-all for everything that's special about this class of ship, without having to write down all the details and without having to go into the weeds about the mechanics. You're a Reliant class ship. Oh, guess what? You have a quantum slipstream drive, unless for some reason within the story you decided to uninstall it or it broke or something like that. So
So under trait, I just put QSD. I put Federation and QSD under traits. Awesome. Okay, this is great. Okay, you all saw how we did that. You saw how easy that was, so that we can get moving on to now deciding the next piece, which is on page 257, and what our theme and incident is for this story. So what takes us back to the homeworld besides transporting Neelix?
Yep. So just to dial back just a little bit, so there was really no need for us to take a long break between episodes, because we don't have to go get a refit. We don't have to do anything. We've already got it. So literally, we just finished that episode at some undetermined time later. Now we're going back to the Talaxian homeworld. Okay, so our mission type is
our theme and incident.
Oh, sorry. I was give me a page.
We are now on page 267. There it is. We have our mission type as near space exploration, sojourn back to Talaxian asteroid.
All right. Incident is transform.
Okay.
Theme is roll twice and combine.
Ooh, I love
this. Here we go. Okay, so we are going to transform a sentient machine.
Okay.
And a gravimetric distortion.
Okay, I'm loving this. I love this. It could be a sentient machine that lives inside of a gravimetric distortion. We need to roll more details, I think,
or a sentient machine that creates gravimetric distortions.
Yeah. So transform. So I like this. You know, Jim, I would love if this mission is one where the main theme is kind of more of a like scientific exploration kind of thing. And then we roll up our B plot super drama and let that be like the roles about more personality conflict, social conflict. I would like to see if we could try leaning in that direction this time, because we've been so action packed in the last two ones.
Sure. That works.
Okay. So yeah. Okay. So now we need to roll even or odd for advantage or complication, page 268, 269.
Yep. So we are going to have a complication.
Ooh.
And the complication from this table, number 5, crisis of conscience. A crew member suddenly acts against the mission, causing the circumstances to change suddenly. I feel like we had that one recently. Wonder if we should change that up. But,
did we? I thought
there was a subplot in one of our recent episodes that had
that was inept crew member, I thought.
Oh, inept crew member, that's it. Yep.
Yeah, that was inept crew member. So now that was our first episode, but now I like crisis of conscience, because remember I said I want us to be on a more like feeling type episode.
That works.
Yeah. Okay. So now we move over to the encounter probability matrix on page 27 to just kind of figure out the location. What
Yippers?
Yeah.
Let's see. It is in a abandoned place. All right. So then we'll go into a little bit more detail to page 271. Now we've got our type of encounter. Now we're going to the more detailed section here. And I rolled a 5. containers of spent fuel rods contaminating this sector.
Yes. Which is transforming a sentient machine
and causing special distortions.
Yeah.
Or gravimetric distortions.
Right, because fuel rods could be antimatter, warp particles, all kinds of things, right?
Slap a tetryon on there.
Yeah, of course. Oh, or better yet, Dr. Aaron McDonald's quantum. You know, we can just throw some quantum up in there.
There you go.
So we now have our quantum slipstream drive. So of course. Okay, so I like this. So that's a good encounter, Jim.
Yeah.
We're starting to form a picture here. We want to move into do you think now I have some different option roles here. If we want to say, okay, this is happening, we got, you know, the details for what's happening. Do you think that as we go back, do we encounter this issue as we go back to drop Neelix off that maybe we can't find or can't locate the asteroid because of this issue that's kind of blocking us from getting him home? And what would go ahead.
I think that's good. I think what I'm more curious right now is like, why are we taking Neelix back home? Is there a reason? Is there a driving reason for us to get him back home other than we got him and we can take him? But is there something driving us to get him back there that we then run into this situation on the way?
Yeah, let's figure that out. Do you think we should try to generate a B plot as that? Because we now have crisis of conscience. And on continuing mission, we do have several generators that are a little bit more drama focused. For instance, we have something that was brought to us by one of our, someone volunteered, Dave Dyson did a B plot generator matrix, which has a little bit more drama. And we also have ones like, of course, the famous Jane Austen one, the family related tragedies one. So we could roll on a couple of those to try to flesh out what's the motivation to go back home, or we even have our own character cultural traits, goals, tactics that we could roll on from the book. So let's pick.
I mean, maybe it's simply Neelix asking for a reason. Or
do you want to go to page 284?
He's a diplomat now at this point, right?
Exactly. So we can go to 284 and roll why he wants to go back.
Sure, we can do that.
Okay, under goals, you want to do that?
Non-player characters goals. Yeah, this is page 284. And I rolled a 13, so he wants to make new friends.
Okay.
He's kind of bored with the Alpha Beta Quadrant. He wants to go home.
Okay, but let's push it. He's a diplomat, so maybe he's key and essential to a diplomatic. Maybe he's key to the truce because he started the work while he was there. We know he's a great diplomat, right? He left to go to Earth, remember, to deliver those medical supplies last episode. And maybe he has to rush back or else this alien species will not close off making peaceful relations without him there present.
Yeah.
You like that? So how did that read again? What was the term?
No, I lost it.
I think he said 13. Make new friends. Yeah,
make new friends.
And so since he's a diplomat, we're going to kind of alter that to a little bit like essential to diplomatic talks.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we have a good reason. And should we make it time sensitive so that if we don't get past this sentient machine gravimetric distortion, that could collapse the talks?
Yeah, I think so. A ticking clock is always an easy way to create some pressure. There's a time sensitive thing happening on the Talaxian asteroid. We need to get Neelix there in time before those people separate and go about their business. He wants to get there to win friends and influence people. But on the way, we encounter this abandoned place, containers of spent fuel rods, creating this issue with the sentient machines / gravimetric distortions and transformation. Yeah. I
like that. And then we'll figure out exactly what this crisis of conscience is along the way. Now, we have, again, I want to point out, we have different, more drama-based issues like there's one probability matrix that I wrote called human resource issues that could arise in Star Trek, and maybe that's the crisis of conscience issue that we deal with while we're heading there. What do you think?
I think that's good. Yeah, I'm good rolling it. I'm almost wondering if the crisis of conscious ties into the sentient machine somehow, and we pull in the meta of the like the whole kind of Picard era issues with AI and androids and sentient androids, and you got the Soong types, and just that whole subplot line that they completely gave up in the season 3. But it was kind of interesting in season 1.
Yeah.
But then the Borg thing kind of took over.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's see if maybe we find something with an HR issue roll, and see if we find something in there. So go ahead and roll 1 through 20, and I'll go ahead and tell you which one came up.
Okay, you got the chart in front of you?
I do.
Okay, I'll give you a roll here. I rolled an 8.
Okay, so 8 came up as inadequate training. New recruits lack proper training, leading to mistakes and actions. Is that too close to inept crew member?
Yeah.
Okay, roll again.
Okay.
So everyone, I want you all to see that we rolled again to keep mixing things up.
I rolled a 19 this time.
Okay, this time, workplace sabotage. Suspicion arises that someone is sabotaging ship systems or operations.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. HR issue. Let me paste that in there.
Hey, what?
What is going on?
Not on my ship.
Yeah. So did we pick somebody up on Earth that we're bringing back with us that is not into? Should we roll on this character and new NPC?
NPC thing, right? Yeah. Let me switch over to that.
And that's page 284. Or sorry, no, page 283. So page 283, we're rolling up someone else we're bringing back with us.
You want the whole schmack starting with the archetype?
I think we should.
All right. So starting with the archetype, we have a leader.
Okay.
That is
upbringing.
Upbringing is the future.
Didn't we do that last time?
Did we? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think we hit future last.
Okay, let me roll a different one.
Yeah.
Homeworld : starship.
So Homeworld starship.
Born on a star. So a leader born on a starship. Cultural trait is honor. Okay. Goal. Oops. Goal is find a new cure.
Okay.
Tactics. Revealing secrets. Outlook on the Federation is blasé. And I guess we should roll for a species.
Yep, let's do that.
Let me go back to the species list earlier in the book here. This should probably be next gen era, yeah?
Yep. Well, you can roll on any because since it's next gen. Roll. I would, if I were you, I would roll. 1 through 8 would be Enterprise era. 9 through 16 would be original series era, and then everything else would be next generation species. So first roll of
just so happens we have a table for that, Michael. on page 93. So let's just do that. Cool. Yeah, so this is going to be an Enterprise era species.
Cool.
And we're going with where is it? Romulan. We have Romulan crew members? Sure, why not?
Yes.
Why not?
Okay, let's read back this.
Thanks to the Hoba supernova, Romulans have been spread out into the diaspora, so to speak. Sure, some Romulans probably joined Starfleet.
Totally. Romulan leader. Homeworld was on a starship, which makes sense because they probably were an evacuating ship.
Yep.
So they probably were an evacuee. And so they lived much of their life on a starship. They want to find a new cure. That could mean different things. What are you picking up, Jim? It doesn't have to be disease. There's cures for many things, right? Many things can have cures. So what do you think they might be? I mean, it could be trying to find a new homeworld or.
Well, I certainly don't want to tar every Romulan with the broad brush, but
right.
maybe they're kind of Well, find a new cure. Maybe they're trying to cure the Romulans to find a new home or to find a solution to their being spread out into the world. I was also playing with the idea maybe they're uh, philosophically aligned with the Zat Vash and agree that AI is bad, wrong, fun, and don't want to find a new cure for AI. Or I mean, gosh, Michael, we could go another direction with this. Maybe they want to make AI safer and better, and want to find a new cure. As in, AI is not so bad. AI is okay. You just have to, make these little modifications, and then it'll be safe. So there's a number of directions we could go with this, and I'm not sure what.
I want to go with what you originally had with the Zat Vash, though. So
Yeah.
they want Zat Vash want to destroy AI, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so think about this. If this character is the crisis of conscience, when they come across this sentient machine / gravimetric distortion, their conscience may be motivating them to do something out of character. So in character would be destroy AI, right?
But the crisis is, wait, maybe we shouldn't.
Yeah, and their secrets, like maybe their outlook when it comes to Federation Blase, maybe that's more like, I don't agree with how liberal you guys are with AI.
Sure. I mean, that's one of many colors. I mean, the other color, not the other, but another color could be the Federation. I'm happy to be part of Starfleet because I got the recommendation and I'm doing a good job. But the Federation wasn't there when my homeworld was destroyed. Where were you? Like, what are you going to do? Like, the Federation, they talk the good talk, but they don't always walk the walk, right? So they might be a little jaded.
Right. So they're willing, in this case, maybe they're not sabotaging the ship systems, but maybe they're sabotaging this operation.
The mission. Yeah.
And so
details come out. Yeah.
So I like the idea that we go into this mission kind of like, everything's normal. We're doing the scientific thing. Hey, Captain, the mission could even open up with us on our, captain's log, on our way to deliver Neelix back to the homeworld so they can finish the diplomatic with the batata. We have come across a gravimetric distortion in space that's giving us most interesting readings. And we kind of just play with that science piece. We know that underlying there's someone sabotaging the operation, but maybe we still lay on another B plot just, for drama. So we're misdirecting the audience in a sense as to where the real problem lies in this episode.
And safe to assume this character is a Starfleet officer?
I think so. Totally.
All right. So on page 115, I want to roll for their track, just so that we have a sense of where are they on the ship.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just make a quick roll here. They are in the command track. Oh, interesting.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So hold on a second.
That ties right into being a leader, right? So they are somewhere in the command. I mean, it could be any number of things, but they just happen to be in. They're not operations. They're not science. They are in the command track. So
do me a favor. Roll on the focuses, and let's determine what their main specialty is.
Oh yeah. Good call.
Yeah.
Focuses are earlier in the chapter. Where are our focuses?
Page. Do you need it?
Okay. Focuses. I found it.
Good.
So, do we do command or con?
Roll 50-50.
50-50. I'll go with command.
Yes.
And should I do the original version right out of the book, or should I do the revised version?
Revised.
Get the revised version up?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, hold on one second.
Okay, so I have to roll D20 and then a D20 again, right?
Just give me the page.
85.
Okay, so let me go to 85. So I need you to roll just one D20, that's all.
20.
So journalism.
Ooh.
I love that.
Okay.
So they're command track, but are they FNN, Federation News Network too?
Journalism.
Or can we twist that? Or should we roll again? Because we already said they're command track, so they're Starfleet.
Okay, I rolled a 10.
Oh my goodness. Deception.
What is it?
Deception. So are we going to make them intelligence?
Starfleet intelligence? Sure.
Okay. And we might play that into the game. We'll see how that works out. I love that. So command track Starfleet intelligence, which is a position on the ship. They oftentimes have investigators, and so this character is very interesting. I'm already falling in love with them.
Yeah, intelligence or JAG maybe.
Can you roll? I know we've talked about this before. Do you want to go ahead and roll on gender?
Sure. Well, gosh, should we have a gender table?
No, we don't. You're gonna have to make it up.
Well, I mean, there's so many genders.
8, 7, 7. Let's go. He, she, them. So 7, 7, 7. Last 7, right?
All right. So last 7, 16. So they, them.
That's what they rolled. Okay.
Well, I mean, if we're doing 1 to 6 is male, 7 to 13 is female, 14 onward is they. It could be agender, it could be non-binary, it could be any number of flavors. So
it's a Romulan. We haven't learned a lot about Romulans, so
it's true.
This is good. Okay, cool. All right, so there we go. We have this interesting character, and I think it's your responsibility now to go to the naming convention. Because I think this is going to be our star of our show, in addition to Neelix, who's going to kind of be our B story character. But let's go ahead and roll on names.
Names. Let's find it here. Page 315. Let's go with a 3-syllable name.
Cool.
All right, and we're looking for ADC. So let's start with that. We're looking at Go. EBE. So Go EBE, and what did I say? ATC, right? Yeah. So this would be DAL. So let's massage that a little bit.
So I'm looking at something like Go Badal.
Go Badal. Does that sound Romulan-y?
Let's
Neural. Go Badal.
How about just Badal?
Badal, yeah.
All right, I like that.
All one word, I think.
And then should we roll a rank on them? Can we roll a rank on characters? I don't think we did that in Captain's Log, did we?
If we didn't, we could have.
Okay,
I mean, not to say we should have, but
so watch my fingers real quick.
Yeah.
We got Ensign, Lieutenant, Commander.
Ensign, Lieutenant JG, Lieutenant Commander. So those are the 5, I'd say.
Okay, so that's easy enough. 4s. Yep. So go ahead.
Yeah. I've got a 7.
So that would make it automatically Lieutenant JG.
Okay.
That's
right. Fine. Yeah.
Right.
And plus they're Romulan. There's not that many Romulans in Starfleet. Lieutenant JG works for me.
This is cool. This is super cool. Look how quick we invented this amazing character, everyone. Lieutenant JG Badal, who is a Starfleet intelligence assigned. We picked them up on Earth this is their first time on this ship, because we know that they're a guest star, no doubt. Maybe they'll become a regular. We don't know. We have a very interesting character here with a lot of background as an evacuee, honorific toward their people. We're going to figure out exactly what they're trying to cure, what they're trying to fix. Secrets will be revealed as we play this game. They're blasé about the Federation, so they went through it. Maybe they felt they had no other choice. We will see their true personality emerge in this story, right?
Absolutely. And, those of you, we've been at this for about 25 minutes, and we've got all this detail so far. We haven't even started playing the game yet.
I know, but we can see it forming. We're going to fly through when we do the rolls.
Stuff is coming together.
Yeah.
We're the writers in the writer room. We're madly writing on the whiteboards. All this stuff is coming together.
So I think we need to just do one last roll, and I think we just need to do the roll for kind of what that B plot is.
The B plot,
yeah. Right? So I think what we should go ahead and do is go ahead and roll. I have the B plot generator up, the one that was designed by Dave Dyson. Roll a 20, and I'll tell you what we get.
Okay, I got a 14.
Very nice, very nice. It is, and I'm putting it right here. Our B story. I like keeping Jim in anticipation is holodeck adventure, LARPing, pick a genre, any genre.
Here we go. Do we have a genre table?
Oh God. I could chat GPT a quick one.
Okay. Yeah, do that.
Okay.
I could rattle off 20 genres pretty quickly, but I bet chat GPT. Okay, so here's the dangers of AI, but here's the power of AI too, right? Is that we're using it as a tool to help us with our
Jim,
team.
This is our game. We're not making money off of this. I'm doing this for fun. So the question is from create a 20 no what do we say? Oh, create a random table. So create a random table of 20 different LARPing ideas, or
20 different story genres.
Oh, story genres.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. There you go.
Oh my gosh. Look at that. Holy cow.
And I'm taping this so people can see this. So go ahead and roll on this, Jim.
Wait, people can't see this or can see
this?
They
can. I'm sharing screen.
Dude, that's sick.
I know. Go ahead and roll.
Oh my gosh, that's unreal. I rolled a 7. Historical fiction.
Okay. This is cool.
I dig it.
Okay, so now should I create a table and show you how quick this works?
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'll say create a random table of 20 historical
fiction topics, right?
Historical fiction topics. Roll a 20.
Are you kidding me?
God, you act like you've never seen this before.
I have not seen this before.
Okay. Roll. Just so everyone knows, I'm responsible at my work to help develop the policy and ethics on AI. And if you watched our show a couple of weeks ago, Chris Birch talks about it. We're not allowed to use this for our Modifius, just so you know, for paid stuff. But go ahead.
Yeah. And if anybody ever sends me any manuscripts generated by ChatGPT, I will fire you on the spot.
Roll to 120.
All right, hang on. Oh well, I rolled a 1. Ancient Egypt, the pyramids.
Yes. And that's your favorite. Isn't that one of your favorite subjects?
I got books for days.
Okay, guys. Okay, we're ready to start the story.
Good night, everybody. We can go home now.
And Jim, you were asking for that meta thing, right?
Uh-huh.
The sentient machine is going to be in the form of a pyramid with an eye.
Okay.
I'm just saying, if you wanted to create a connection with Beast, everyone watch how we take that Beast plot as a Chekhov's gun, maybe, or as a foreshadowing, and watch how we maybe wrap that in. Maybe Jim, by the way, so all you know, is what can I call you, an amateur historian on Egyptian?
Amateur Egyptologist, yeah.
Amateur Egyptologist. So I'm really going to be leaning on Jim this time, and this is and let me talk about this as a GM. As a GM, if I knew that was one of Jim's private hobbies, I would purposely be designing a game like this so that he could take what he knows and wrap it into the game and get satisfaction from having that piece of trivia in his brain. So we're going to simplify that today, Jim. I'm going to actually ask you, because you know more about Egyptology than I ever do, that you bring that in with, we start this game with this, and maybe you find a way to introduce it later on and get your fix. Does that sound right?
I got it. Already got it. I'm good to go.
Okay, so then my question is this, Jim. Should the captain or XO have as a focus Egyptology? We can always swap it out later.
What were your focuses so far?
My focuses so far are evacuation procedures, Klingon culture, and psionics. So maybe ancient civilizations or Egyptology, or do you want one of our characters to have that? I don't mind mine being that. I'll do it just for funsies. Ancient civilizations, and I'm curious about them.
Well, I could go either way. I mean, if you want to, by all means, go ahead. I'm just thinking with unorthodox mathematics, never leave a stone unturned, a strong science background on my character, and our tradition gives us our vision. Like, I could easily see Captain Ginnamat being into ancient Egypt mythology and history, and even having a little bit of archaeology, but also getting into the whole religious traditions that Egypt had.
And how did they build the pyramids? That mystery?
It's not a mystery. Come on.
Okay. So would you want to call it ancient?
It was aliens.
Okay. Wait, that's super cool too. So wait, do you want to make it ancient civilizations, or do you want to get it all the way down to Egyptology?
I think the more specific, the better, right? So I think
I'm
I'm
that
gonna
way.
I'm gonna bring in one of his focuses now is Egyptology.
Oh, I love this. Okay, this is going to be such a fun scene, and taking us on a tour
Actually,
of this.
I'm gonna go even further. That because Egyptology, even though it's specialized, it's pretty broad.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with ancient Egyptian uh, religious traditions
Ooh, you are so cool.
because it's a focus. It's a super focus.
It is.
It's
I love
not
that.
a broad focus that I could use all the time. It's a really specialized focus that I won't use as much. Now, that's up to you as a player and maybe up to you as a game master. As a player, you might want a broader focus so that you could use it more broadly and get that advantage more frequently. But in
Yep.
this case, I want the deep dive.
And so I promised that I would pick a focus at this point too. So I don't want to be anywhere near yours.
Uh-huh.
So based off what we have so far and seeing it that my character has a security of 4,
Mm-hmm.
I think I want to go in something toward intelligence also. So we know we have this main character, this Lieutenant Badal, who's Starfleet intelligence. And I think I really want to lean into that because I think that might be key in this game. But I want to get super specific with the intelligence. Like, what do you think I could do to make my focus super specific when it comes to intelligence? Like forensics or artificial, like what do you call it? Computer investigation. Like when you, is it computer forensics?
Cybersecurity,
Cybersecurity. Yeah. That might be cool, right?
or yeah, maybe like you could do like Xeno cybersecurity.
There we go.
You're not just specialized in cybersecurity, you're specialized in cybersecurity of alien species,
I like
of,
that.
of like non-federation alien species. Like you have a knack for understanding alien software systems and alien technologies that are written in languages that don't make sense to the Federation, right? It's very
Which
different.
which would make me so intrigued by Romulus too, because we know that they are secretive. So imagine what their computer
Yeah.
programs look like, right? Because since they did not rely on artificial intelligence, they really had to come up with some amazing, intricate maze-like firewalls for their systems because they did not allow computers to do it.
Uh-huh.
And we know if you know anything about Romulan culture, reading the books or beta canon, their homes are moving, shifting labyrinths. So I think they would design computer systems the same way, and I've become kind of fascinated by that. So I'm going to have some really interesting discussions with this new lieutenant on our ship.
I dig it.
Okay, well, now we're getting some good picture here. Okay, cool. All right, so I got Xeno cybersecurity, and the captain has ancient Egyptian religious traditions. I think we're ready to have the opening scene in this LARPing.
So I think the opening scene is definitely on the holodeck with the captain, you know, re or pulling in some element of ancient Egyptian a sleuthing or spelunking where a tomb was discovered in the Valley of the Kings and the captain is playing the role of maybe one of the Egyptologists who discovered it and is doing some digging. Might have some junior officers with me along for the educational experience. Maybe there's some other amateur Egyptologists on the ship. Maybe there's just some people who are curious to go along with the captain. Maybe the captain's taking an opportunity to give a little science education to a couple of junior officers. Maybe I don't know. There's a couple of ways we could go with it.
I think I'm writing as we go, and I think
Absolutely. Badal should be on that.
And we'll put junior officers, which includes Badal, Fofim, and Neelix. And we kind of, I could see Neelix being like, "This is fascinating," and Fofim is like, "Wow, this is, talk to us. What are you touring us through here at this point, right?"
I think. In fact, I mean, since this is a Star Trek show and we want to be aimed at the mainstream, we'd probably want to use a recognizable, Egyptological event. So this could be Captain Genemat kind of reenacting the discovery of Tut's tomb, right?
Okay.
So they're encountering King Tut's tomb. They're going through the handful of chambers, looking at all the artifacts, but focused primarily on the nested sarcophagi. and Ganymed can open up this can open up the episode going into a very academic discussion on how the ancient Egyptian religious beliefs involved the transformation of the mortal body into the spiritual body with all the different versions of the souls, and like really leaning into that whole transformation thing of the body becoming or the spirit going into another level. So that you're going to the field of reeds, you're being served in the afterlife. You've gone through the journey of the afterlife, all that stuff, right? But because the theme of the episode is transformation, I love the idea of, okay, you know, they embalmed or you know they wrapped up Tut as a mummy, they put him in the mini sarcophagi, they were preparing him for afterlife. He was going to transform from what he was into what his you know his form in the afterlife. And so there's that whole shtick about transformation. So if I were the writer, right, obviously I'd be laying all that stuff in here thick and heavy, with the reader thinking, oh, this is just a throwaway opening scene. We're getting introduced to the characters. The plot will kick in here as we move toward the end of the teaser and we get into the actual episode, but it's going to come back later.
Well, here's what I love. So everything you're saying, I love it, because what if the sentient machine, the gravimetric distortion, is it passing through into its next life form? And then again with Lieutenant Badal there being like, we can't let this evolution happen. Or we should let this we'll figure out what the conflict is as we move through it. But I love that we thematically talk about something changing into something else.
Yeah.
And we'll maybe find an attachment there with the theme and incident.
Yeah. So here's a question for you, Michael. So do we want to do the next generation era shtick where we're in the holodeck having our little story, wacky things happen, and all of a sudden everything key happens in the holodeck? Or do we use the holodeck opener as kind of a bookend, or kind of just like a connective tissue to where, like, okay, we're in the holodeck doing our thing. Oh, but now we got to go back to the bridge and the ship, and now we're encountering the space thing out in space, and we're dealing with that out there. But it's not directly tied to the holodeck. I could go.
I like both ways, and let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I like both ways. Yes, I love, like, all of a sudden the holodeck gets interrupted. It's like, Captain, we've stopped going at warp. Why? We hit this. But I also love the fact that the holodeck is a computer, and that maybe the sentient machine and gravimetric distortion is trying to communicate through this. Therefore, trapping them in the holodeck to figure out the mystery, to figure out what it needs.
I'm digging the idea of, like, they're like stuck in the holodeck, and like King Tut comes to life. It's like, wait a minute, that's not King Tut. That's
yes,
it's the sentient machine.
Oh, come on. Let's do it.
This is the Halloween special.
Well, what I like about this too is not only do you get to play to your Egyptology and your character, I get to play with the Xeno cybersecurity trying to figure this out.
Oh yeah,
as a puzzle, and then having the Romulan try to sabotage this operation. This is beautiful already.
Well, initially sabotaging it and then having a crisis of conscience to.
Yes.
Wait, maybe
now you're Starfleet. We're gonna have to have some conversations with this person in some pretty interesting settings.
Ooh. Okay.
Chills.
I think we got, especially given your Xeno crypto angle that you're bringing into it. I think it's got to be on the holodeck.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Okay, I love it.
Episode, everybody.
Okay, cool. So I think the Act 1, Scene 1 is figuring out we're trapped. And something is off, right? We're going to have to figure out something's off. And there's going to this inciting incident. Someone's going to have to roll at this point, right?
But yeah, I would think Act 1, Scene 1, we're doing this whole shtick. And then I think the kicker is those gravimetric distortions kick in and not wreck the ship, but badly damage it, so that, like, the safety protocols come off. Part of the entrance collapses. We're stuck in the tomb.
Okay, so let's do this. Do we notice that the program is now running funky? I think we should make that Act 1, Scene 1. Do we notice?
That would be a task roll. Yeah.
Right. So so do we notice? And I think that should be what, insight plus, and I think there should be the captain, and here's why. something is off from their knowledge of Egyptian history at this point. Something is off. That's a tell that, wait a second, I didn't program this, or this is not part of Egyptology. This is a new addition.
There shouldn't have been an earthquake at this period of time.
Yeah. Or looking at hieroglyphics, it's like, that's not an Egyptian hieroglyphic. I don't know that word.
Oh, okay. So it's not only gravimetric distortions then, but maybe there's also a Xenos AI cybernetic thing impacting the program too then.
Well, let's think about this for a second. How is a holodeck powered? It's powered through use of force fields and light. So gravimetric distortions, it would be easy for an alien, for instance, a sentient machine who can manipulate those kind of forces to redo hieroglyphics in an attempt to communicate. Right?
That works.
Okay, so I think this would be insight plus science, yeah, because it's your knowledge of Egyptology.
Using the focus, yeah.
Yeah, and I think we start the episode there. Something off, maybe.
Works for me. So insight science, that's 14. I've got a focus that'll help me. Let's see what we got here. Oh, you'll be so happy. I rolled a 9, so that's one. Well, wait, we didn't set a difficulty.
It's always difficulty 1. Remember, you're going for success.
That's right.
Captain's log.
So I rolled a 9, so that's my success. So we were successful. However, I rolled a 20 on the other dice. So
yes.
Love those complications.
We know exactly what the complication is, Jim. Trapped in the holodeck.
Oh yeah, I guess we don't have to roll for that.
Come on.
It played right into our plan.
Yes. No, okay. So success.
See, folks, we're not cheating.
Right. Something off with, we want to say hieroglyphics?
It works for me.
Okay, so we're gonna have something off with hieroglyphics.
I mean, it could be a multitude of things, right? It could be like the artifacts changing shape into something that's more closer to the alien species. It could also be the hieroglyphics trying to change into some amalgamation between their language and ancient Egyptian.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I'm going to ask you
Egyptian or something. Yeah, I don't remember the exact language name, but it's pretty old.
Well, you know how I am, Jim. You know, I rarely wait till the end of Act 1 to do this, but since it's a holodeck episode, I'm saying that we roll, since we just got one complication trapped in the holodeck. You know me, I think we should roll on 2 more threats.
I'm good with that.
Okay, and that way this really creates the dun, 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 right before the show opener. So we're going to go over to the threat table.
Give me a page.
The page is, give me one second, I'm right here, page 278. And we need to roll twice on the threat table.
Twice on the threat table. So I'm doing this threat spend theme.
Correct.
First. Or do we want to just go straight to one of these?
No. Go ahead and let's go
random one. Okay.
Yeah.
So first one's a 15. So this is going to be subspace. Good old subspace.
Good old
subspace. First one is messages cannot penetrate subspace.
Yes. There's no way to communicate out to the other ship.
Love it. And then the next one is ship in distress.
Ooh.
Gonna be.
That's really good.
And I rolled a 7. Oh, this is perfect. Computers malfunction.
Oh, this is gorgeous.
See, folks, like this is just how it happens. You get these ideas and you get into it, and then all of a sudden the dice start rolling your way.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it all just fits nicely.
What a great first round. So because honestly, let's think about what would happen, right? Well, first of all, let's be clear with this. The scene would end when the hieroglyphics are off. And does King Tut rise at this point where everyone's shocked, and then we go to the first show opener? Does King Tut rise?
No.
Not yet? Too early?
No, first we start off with the, wait a minute, something's wrong here. And then the ship's shaking and buckling and everything's going wrong.
Right, and they try to get out and no one responds. And they all look at each other. Show opener.
Yeah.
Okay, that's perfect. So now we go to scene 2.
Yeah.
This is a great episode already.
Yeah, Act 1, scene 1 is like, wait a minute, something's wrong.
Yeah.
And then, wait a minute, we can't send messages out. Wait a minute, we're having a computer malfunction. And now Act 1, Scene 2, things get worse.
Exactly. Okay.
Because now we have to get trapped.
Yeah. All right.
And so I think end of Act 1 is going to be not only are we trapped, but holy cow, King Tut just sat up.
Yeah. Okay.
Now what? Now we're in real trouble. That's not supposed to happen.
So let's see. What would we do in this situation? We come out of the show opener, come out of commercial break. You can tell how old we are. The fact that we keep saying commercial break in the day of streaming. We apologize, everyone. We should probably start referring it to fade in, fade out.
Yeah.
Okay. So we fade back in. And scene 2, of course, we're getting inquisitive about this. Should we roll whether some of the junior officers are getting a little panicked? Because that might make some fun. Probability
Absolutely.
matrix.
So I would think if did we have Fofem in here with us?
Yeah. So Fofem's here, of course. So should I try to calm them?
So I think there's two tasks here. The first one would be to calm the junior officers, and that would probably be something that you would do.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one is like, okay, what's the problem? We would start digging into what the problem is, and that would be a reason science role, and that would probably be on the captain to do.
Okay, so I'm going to go with my presence 9 plus command 3 to try to calm them, right?
And do you have a focus relevant?
No, I do not feel I have evacuation procedures, which we might use later, but we're not there yet. So I don't have anything. So I'm going to go ahead and roll. I have my dice right here. I have to roll better than 12. I'm rolling my 2d20, 5 and 2. Ooh, nice. So I have no applicable focus. So I get
momentum though.
Yep. So 1 momentum.
Do you want to spend that momentum or hold on to it?
Oh man. I think I want to go for a random momentum spend on page 275. So let me go ahead and roll that. I rolled 11, which is new technology. And I'm rolling a 3, which says communication upgrade. So I think maybe why don't we spin this so that we get just limited communication with the ship, so we find out that the ship is in grave danger, and of course we are going to want to get out of here to help, but we can't.
Right?
Okay, so spinning that, we're therefore informed that ship is in grave danger. And that's kind of cool because we're thinking, I want to get out of here to solve the problem, but we know the episode is going to reveal that solving the problem requires us to be inside the LARP.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Okay, so at this point, this makes us aware of what's going on in this scene. And then what did you said you wanted to have the captain roll on?
Reason 10 science 4 to attempt to suss out the problem here, like what's happening to the program, like what is making the visuals change, like the language and the artifacts, like what's happening here, like is this just a glitch, is this something worse, like what's happening here?
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and roll that, and there's not really a focus here that's applicable, so I'm just gonna roll. I need 14 or better. I've got a 14 and a 4, so success with momentum.
Okay.
I think I'm going to go ahead and use the momentum. I'll a random momentum spend. I've got new technology, and I rolled an 11. New medical procedure. Not sure that fits, but I'll open to your. Medical procedure would be relevant here, so I'm inclined
was this required because one of our people got injured because the entity is angry that we were thinking about escaping before it got its message across to us? Maybe you have this medical procedure, or
can we save that for later?
Yeah.
Let's hold on to that.
Okay.
And save it for later. In fact, maybe the new medical procedure is something that we can use to help the sentient machine transform.
That, or even Jim, you're an Egyptologist. You have this history. Maybe it's an ancient Egyptian procedure that will actually save the day.
That works. It tied into the sentient machine.
The Egyptians were medical masters, right?
Right.
I would let myself be surgically. If I was back then, I'd be like, let me go to Egypt to get surgery. I'd be okay with that.
In fact, maybe somehow in this sentient machines, cycle of life, maybe it was about to transform, but it got stuck in our matrix, and and now it can't move on. It can't transform into its next form until we release it, but we won't discover that until later. And so this new medical procedure is like, oh, wait a minute, I know how to fix this because I have to go. It's not a new medical procedure; it's an old medical procedure, but we'll bring it back to the present. And
what if you have to perform a cybernetic embalming to get it to its next form? Like maintaining its cohesion of its main body structure while still going inside to fix stuff. We'll get to that.
We can finesse it. I think finesse that. Okay. If I had time, if we were writing the screenplay, I would take a couple of days to do some research because there are probably more thematically fitting Egyptian rituals and stuff that I can tie into this, but I'm not going to bore the listener with all that detail. There might be an amateur Egyptologist out there going, "Wait, we can do this."
Yeah, so
like, absolutely. I can't do the research on the fly right now.
Good. Okay, so we've established that we have an issue with the ship on the outside. We're trapped on the inside. We have your momentum that we're saving. You're kind of aware of what's going on. What awareness does your captain have? Because you rolled a reason plus science. So what was the awareness you discovered?
The awareness I discovered. What do you mean?
You noticed something was off with the hieroglyphics in the first one, so you kind of have to notice something now too.
Right. So I think the gist is, I think we would probably have to dig a little deeper, but I think the Captain Jinamot would be like, wait a minute, this isn't just a random computer glitch. This is intentional. I don't know the language. It's not, but I know it's not ancient Egyptian. It's something different. It's something alien, but it's absolutely intentional, right? This is changing for a reason. It's not because the ship's in grave danger and we're having some computer malfunction. This is real, right? This is something really happening in real time. It's not a historical program. It's not old data or whatever. So clearly something is happening. I don't think we know that the alien is trying to communicate with us yet.
Right.
I think at this point we would know, okay, there's something intentionally happening here. And now we're going to have to, maybe this is even like, if we were doing STA, I think I would make this an extended task.
So I'd like to say, is it probable? Let's create a couple probability questions here. So is it probable that we get cut off from each other? Because we have this cool party, and what's better than being in a pyramid in a tomb when walls start coming down and we're separated, which could create a lot of tension. So do you think it's highly probable, somewhat probable that we get separated?
So if we're going with the conceit that it's King Tut's tomb, there's only 4 chambers, so it's pretty small, but we could still get separated, right? Because like, even though it's only 4 chambers, you could be in the first chamber, I could be in the fourth chamber.
Plus the computer plus the sentient machine is changing it, which is the indication that something's off.
So certainly probable. In fact, if you want to, if the alien system is trying to separate us to maybe, well, actually, I don't think it'd be testing us. I think the sentient computer is like, wait a minute, there's something wrong here. I need your help, but I need to communicate that I need your help. Maybe splitting you up would maybe make you all think more creatively.
Yeah, or it could view us because it's uncertain. It could be viewing us as viruses, and therefore it's trying to isolate the different viruses it's detecting.
Yeah, I like that. So let's say it's probable that we would be split up.
Okay.
And I'll roll. And in fact, yes, we are split up.
Okay.
So maybe we can split up these 2 groups. Maybe it's you and who would be most interesting to put Badal with, you or me?
Me. I think. Okay. Well, yes, because I'm trying to figure out that they're sabotaging. Right. I need to observe them with Starfleet intelligence. So maybe me and 1 junior officer, and you have Neelix and another junior officer.
Okay.
That gives us someone to red shirt if we need to. We each get someone to red shirt without killing off the main.
Without killing off
Neelix. or Badal.
Off Neelix or Badal, yeah.
Okay, so I think, why don't we do this? When we're separated, are we injured? I think we each should have to roll a fitness plus security.
Okay, I'm good with that. So fitness security, so that's a 10. I've got no focuses that are going to help me here. I rolled a 6 and a 19, so the 19's trash. So I got 1 success. I'm good to go.
Cool. Okay, so then I get to roll. My fitness is 9 and security is 4. So let me roll my 2 dice on that. Ooh, I rolled a 6 and a 20.
Uh-oh. So
Okay.
we're okay, but
I want to raise the stakes here, Jim. I want a red shirt one of the junior officers with that.
you want to okay. So you want that complication to be one of the red shirts? Are they dead? Are they incapacitated? Like, how do you want to work it?
We have
buried under rubble.
we have a sheet for the thing is I like that we have a role for injuries, right?
True.
So I think I'm going to go over there to page. Let me grab it. That is page. I'm almost there. Page 316. And so I think that we're going to go. First of all, it's just where are you injured? It doesn't even talk about death because this is about the captain. We know we don't kill our main characters. So I think what I want to do, Jim, is I think it's 50-50 whether this person is hurt or killed. But I think because we're in a holodeck, which tends to be safer, it's somewhat improbable this would happen. So if you roll 1 through 7, we redshirt them. 8 through 20, we roll on the injury table.
Okay, that's fine.
Sound good?
Or we could do the probability 50-50 matrix. 1 to 10, they're dead. 11 to 20, they're injured.
Right. But I the reason I went to somewhat improbable, 1 to 7, they're dead, is because you're in the holodeck. And I think there's safety protocols, some usually, right?
Yeah. All right. So I rolled a 8.
That's just on the border. So they're only injured. So on page 316, why don't you write where they're injured?
Okay, they're injured in the head.
Oh wow. And then type of injury.
It's a puncture wound. Whoops.
Ooh, that's not good.
Whack.
Okay.
That's a critical injury. So now we've got another ticking clock, right? So not only are we trying to get Neelix to the asteroid on time, but now we've got an injured crew member who's got a piece of wood stuck in their head and they're bleeding out, and we need to get them to sick bay, but we can't.
Well, here's the thing: you have a medical procedure that could solve this. I think we leave, since the captain is separated, I think we make him key to having the medical procedure to save this character's life. And we do what we did last episode, and we create a ticking time bomb on how bad this injury is getting. So my goal is to try to get to you as quick as possible to save this ensign. No,
I feel like I want that new medical procedure to be saved for the sentient machine. Okay. I wonder if we really get sci-fi here and combine them. But then that gets into an ethical problem here, because like maybe the only way to save the injured crew member is to put them in the sarcophagus and merge them with the sentient machine. But I don't think the captain would want to make that moral call. It's like,
I like this.
I mean, I like it too, but it's squicky.
Okay. So far we have a junior officer injured in the head with a puncture wound.
Yep.
Let's leave that round at that. Let's move on to scene 4.
Okay.
Right at this point. So we know there's
a rough act.
I know, but I'm thinking, remember where last time we said, okay, does the character die? We would roll on highly improbable, then improbable. We had that time tick.
Yeah.
I think we start that up again.
Okay.
So starting this round, we have to always do the junior officer with injured and puncture wound. Are they okay? And go ahead and roll.
So what did we decide? We're going
1 through 18 is they're okay. 12, 19 to 20.
All right, we're going the opposite direction. Yep.
Yeah.
So I rolled 16. Yeah.
Okay.
They're still alive.
Yes, alive. Okay.
Yeah, and this is a great example, folks, of storytelling where Act 1, Act 2, introduce a situation, introduce a problem, and then make things worse. Keep piling on. Keep making it worse. Give the heroes no out.
Exactly.
Pile on.
Right.
And then you'll get to sit back and watch how they figure it out or not.
Should I do a reason plus medicine to see if I can move them? I have medicine 4, amazingly, so I'm obviously trained.
Well, is the junior officer on your side or my side?
My side. So they were. Okay. That's when I remember I rolled up here that I was not injured, but the junior officer was.
Oh yeah. Okay,
yeah. You had no injuries on yours, so right. I think I should roll a reason 7 plus medicine 4 to determine, right? So reason 7 plus medicine 4.
Yeah, and make note that you're the one making that roll.
Yeah, so I'll go faux fem here. So faux fem, reason 7 plus medicine 4, and determine if I can actually move them. That's what I want to know. Can I get them up so that we can move around so that we can be viable as helping solve this problem? I rolled a 3 and a 13. So
Okay.
yes, so they can move around. But well, I like playing that it's going to be slow going. We're not going to be doing any major hustling around in this new labyrinth that we're in. What were you doing would that be scene 4, and then scene 5 is what you're doing with your group?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah, I think if we were to go in and flesh this out, it would be a bunch of business of your characters, you and Badal. Like, can we move them?
mhm.
Doing that business. Yeah, that's a good 2 to 3 minute scene. I think that works.
Yeah.
And then back to the captain, and Neelix. I think,
and one junior officer you have.
and the meat shield.
Exactly.
So right now we know that this is intentional, something aliens going on. I think it would be a deeper dive into, like, okay, now I just need to keep researching it and doing the study bits. So this would probably be another reason science,
All right.
to try to crack, either to crack the language, like what is this thing trying to tell me. Actually, I guess that would be it, right?
Okay.
Is
Mhm.
I know, like, I know it's changing, I know it's intentional. What's it trying to say? I think that would be the
Yeah.
next logical piece of it.
Yep.
So I don't know. I don't think orthodox mathematics is enough of a stretch. Is too much of a stretch here. So I would just go with just straight up reason science. So that's,
Okay.
reason science, reason 10, science 4, to attempt to crack the code here. If I needed to lean into a value, I would, but I don't know if this is the place to do it.
Or create a new value.
Like, I'd never leave a stone unturned. So like I could use that to kind of like dig into the mystery here.
But again, you're only going to use that if you need to re-roll or something like that, right?
Yeah, I'll hold on to it.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and roll here. I rolled a 4, so there's a success, but I rolled another 20.
Yes.
Another complication. Let's use this complication. I'm gonna let this one be random because I'm not sure what kind of complication I'd want to have in here. So let's take it here. We got an 11. Conflicting orders. The situation is made more tense when orders are received that make the crew have to decide between pursuing their stated mission goals or obeying their conscience.
I like this. You know why?
Yeah.
You obviously have cracked the code that you're dealing with something sentient. The crew, knowing that we have to make the mission for diplomacy, is telling you that they could do a 100% shunt and purge of the holodeck computer system. But now you're dealing with a prime directive issue of a life form.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, the crew up on the bridge or whatever have figured out, okay, we can fix this and get back on our mission. And I'm like, yeah, no, because if you do that, we're gonna kill this sentient life form that's trying to do, like, I don't know what they're trying to do, but the message is this thing needs help. Ooh, what a great moral dilemma.
And Neelix, but Captain,
we have to get to the asteroid.
We're talking about one life form versus a diplomatic engagement that could save hundreds of worlds or dozens of worlds in a star system. That's how I would write that. So we don't have to get into it because we know what Neelix would understand. Like, I understand your dilemma, but we're talking about millions of people on planet ZZ2 if we do not get these people together, and I am key to getting there.
I can see some back and forth here where the captain's like, no, Bridge, don't do it. And then Neelix could even show a backbone and say, like, no, I'm going to invoke my diplomatic powers and say, you are going to do this because I need to get to that asteroid and I outrank you. And the captain's like, wait, no, you don't. This is my ship.
Oh, good argument. And I love the junior officer witnessing all this. Like,
yeah. And it harkens back to the original series, right? Where Kirk always had some ambassador or diplomat or somebody pissy on the ship saying, "Oh no, I'm the regional director or whatever. You're
Right.
going to do this." And Kirk was like, "No, I'm not."
And to make it even better, I would make the junior officer kiss up to higher rank. So they go with Neelix too. Like, well, according to regulation chapter, because they want to kiss up for their career.
Oh, that's dirty.
I know,
Okay.
but why not get a jerk in the middle of all this, right?
Yeah, why not?
I love jerks. Jerks make sense. Okay, so that was this is great. That was an amazing Act 1, Scene 5.
Wow.
Right? What a conflict at this point. Oh, this is getting good. Okay, so you know how usually I probably should. I got to stick to form. I always say at the end of Act 1, Scene 5, we should roll additional problems. I think we should stick to that. Don't you?
Well, also, don't we need to roll to see if your injured officer
Oh
makes it,
yeah.
or are we going to skip to the next scene where you're appearing?
Yeah, I think we should wait till the scene I'm appearing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do that. But I think you rolled a 20, but I hate to do this, but I want to make it worse, Jim.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you want? You want a threat spend or a complication?
Yep. I want threat spin. So I want to go back to the threat table again. And that puts us on page 278. And I want to do 2 more threat spins.
2 more? Okay. So you want 2 random threat spins?
Yep.
Okay. The first one is going to be a gravity.
Good. And
Great.
I love it.
An unknown and invisible source of dangerously intense gravity. Well, that fits right in with our gravimetric distortion. So and that makes sense. Things are now getting worse. This sentient this AI life form is trapped. The transformation is trying to happen. It can't happen. So the gravimetric distortions are getting worse.
Well, remember, we keep having a problem with comms. Remember that was set up at the beginning. So what if when the entity hears that they're thinking about purging the holodeck computer, they increase across the entire ship except the holodeck, the grav plates, and everyone is now pinned and in danger of being crushed everywhere else in the ship.
Okay,
because it's defending itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and this harkens back to the dilemma in Act 1, Scene 5, where the captain's like, or the crew says, "Hey, we can back out of this if we do a complete shutdown and restart." And Neelix says, yeah, do that. And the captain's like, "No, don't do that, because then we're going to lose this life form." And then the consequences of that is now things are getting worse. And now the ship is in real gravimetric distress where people are getting stuck. I like that.
I think the timing would have to be Neelix invoke the little punk junior officer telling Neelix, "Well, actually, you can invoke this as an ambassador on a special mission. You actually have you actually have command authority." Neelix says, "Yes, command authority." The computer, then the AI, the sentient machine, shuts off comms, so the people on the bridge start enacting the last order they heard, and all of a sudden they all get slammed and pinned to the ground.
Yeah. I'm good with that.
Oh, this is good.
I'm good with that. And so write that down. And then you're going to love the second threat spend. I rolled it while we were talking.
Oh my God. Wow.
But I'll wait for you to write that bit down.
Go ahead.
So the second one is a psionic incident. And it's a telepathic distress signal.
Okay. How are we going to transform this? Because we did telepathy in the last 2 episodes. So how are we going to transform this to be different? Could that be the King Tut? Could we just say it's like holographic instead, as opposed to telepathic?
It could be holographic. It could be the hieroglyphics on. It could be the murals and the hieroglyphics on the walls changing. Yep. So it's not necessarily telepathic. It's actually the sentient AI, showing a movie basically on the wall, like, please help, basically.
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
In pictographs or something. So that's it's alien and cool, as opposed to just like words or something.
Love that. Okay. So
that gets us away from the psionic a little bit.
Yeah, I like that.
We've hit that a couple times now.
Correct. Okay, cool. So then we end up in Act 1, 2, Scene 1. We're not aware that the people are being crushed yet. I'm thinking coming into,
because we're having comms problems. Yeah.
Right. The sentient machine is behind the comms problems too.
Right.
So let's start with junior officer, injured in head, puncture wound. Are they okay? This time we're rolling on probable.
All right. So now, wait. Probable or 50-50?
Well, we did highly probable to start if they're okay.
Oh, now we're down to probable. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
I rolled a 14. Oh, they're just hanging on.
Okay, so this is my character now. So in this one, we have no comms. I'm gonna suggest, right? We have no comms communication between us.
Correct.
We're in the ancient Egypt.
We're all in the dark. Yeah.
Yeah. And so my action is with Bamal, who is, of course, we're in a maze. We're trying to find our way. We want to reveal secrets. Are we aware that this is a sentient life form? So are we making the same deduction as the captain?
Oh, great question. I would say that would be, well, go back a little bit. When were we in touch? Did we have the ability to talk about that before communications went out?
Yeah. Yep. You told us right before.
Okay.
You said it's intentional. So now we have to figure it out and work it from both ends.
Right. But you don't know that it's
sentient.
You don't know it's sentient. I know it's sentient, but you don't.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'll put, can we figure out?
Yes, this will be you and the Romulan.
Yeah, so I'll go reason plus, for me, this would be science.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And the total on this one for me, reason is 7 and science is 2. I love that I gave her a low reason and made her high on control and insight. She's more gutsy of a character as opposed to brainy. So I have to beat 7 plus 2 right now. So 9. I got 1 success. So, yep. So based off what we have, we're looking at some hieroglyphics on our end. And I basically turn to Bamal and say, we're dealing with something sentient here. We're going to need to put our heads together and figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the computer. Is this someone communicating to us through the computer? And I think our investigation is going to be just that, is trying to figure out who's behind trying to communicate with us.
Mm-hmm.
That'll happen in future acts.
Okay.
In future scenes. So we go back to you, act scene 2 at this point. You and Neelix are not liking each other, which I think is hilarious. What's your next step here?
Let's see. So so now we can't talk to the bridge. So I mean, obviously Neelix and I are having a difference of opinion, but it's academic at this point because we can't communicate with the bridge.
Uh-huh.
I might be a little annoyed with the junior officer, but there's not really anything to be done with that at the moment.
We're calling him Mr. Shield since you called him Meat Shield. We're calling him Mr. Shields. Instant Shields.
I love it.
M Shields. Okay.
Well, so it's looking at the telepathic holographic murals changing, and probably trying to understand the story that's being shown here. It's probably a series of pictographs,
nice.
Right, that are being displayed in a repeating pattern. And it's like, okay, looking at that, okay, what is this alien species trying to say? Because it's probably some blend of ancient Egypt and alien. Can the captain figure out what's the message here?
I love that. And if you do that, I think we then roll on the creature's traits, goals, tactics.
Oh, hey, that's a great idea.
Only if you succeed, though, in this role. So what attribute and discipline are you applying to trying to figure out?
I'd say this is probably insight. Insight and science, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
Yes, that's 14. Again, none of the focuses really fit here. So the straight up 14. I rolled a 6 and 11. So success with momentum. I'll go ahead and do I want the moment? Do I want to spend the momentum or do I want to hold on to it?
For an advantage, maybe?
I feel like I want to do something to help you with that injured crew member.
No, let me go at it alone.
Let you do it?
Because you're not aware. So you're not aware they're injured. So I think that's cool. I mean, we have the advantage, the momentum roll table too, if you remember, on page 275.
Yeah, let me go ahead and roll on that. So I rolled a 15. So that's a refuge. And then I have to roll another one.
What? What?
Well, sure, why not? Why not? I think I can hear Aaron's eye twitching. I rolled a 20, so temporal dilation buys you time. So
Oh.
not only is this a gravimetric distortion, it's also we're getting into temporal distortions here, along
Ooh.
with the subspace stuff.
Wait, does it actually send you back to real Egypt to solve this?
We're on the holodeck. Why not?
But using the information in the computer, the sentient machine, can it actually send you back to real Egypt?
Oh, that'd be messed up.
Dude, but think about this. Think about this buildup in Act 2, Scene 2, where all of our characters are all of a sudden thrust out of the pyramid. And we're like, this is beyond the programming.
Way beyond. Yeah, sure. Let's do it. We got the budget. We can do it. We got the budget. We have no budget. Our budget is limitless.
It communicates through this. I mean, gravity and time, right? They're interrelated, right?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So, wow. I mean, this is almost an Act 2, Scene 5 ending, but how are you knowing you get refuge? Temporal dilation buys you time. In this case, it could buy you a clue.
Well, this is an advantage. We could just take this chunk and bank it to the end of Act 2, and do some other stuff leading up to it.
Okay. I like this. I like that.
It doesn't have to happen right in this moment. We can move it to the end of the act.
I love that, because that's such a dramatic scene. I mean, that's just, to me, it's so Stargate.
So if we push that down a little bit, then what's happening here is the captain is studying the murals and starting to get a gist of the story.
Yes.
Of, oh, wait a minute, this entity is a sentient entity, and it was in its like chrysalis form, getting ready to transform from one state of being into another state of being, and just us cruising on the way to the Talaxian asteroid using our quantum slipstream drive. Our quantum slipstream drive interfered with their subspace transformation, technobabble, and caused all this shenanigans, right? So
and it could only communicate.
Right, it's the quantum slipstream drive that is able to cause this whole catalyst thing to happen.
Yeah, and it could only establish communication with using the holodeck computers,
using its cybersecurity systems that hacked into our systems and defeated our systems, hacked into the holodeck. And that's where we're going to pick up with you, because you've got to figure that piece of it out.
Yeah. So it's trying to figure us out as much as we are trying to figure it out, with the bridge being ancient Egyptian religious traditions.
So this is an episode where we'd be keeping Dr. Aaron up late at night.
I know. Sorry, Dr. Aaron. Okay.
I'm not.
I like this. So you know how I picture this while you and Neelix are arguing, like vehemently, like just arguing, going at it. The junior officer says, "Wait, look, the hieroglyphics." And as you all turn to look, they start changing, and you start tracing with your finger the story.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you just said, it's transforming and growing, and it's like, wait a second, what's going on here? Right? I love this. I love this. And you probably would know hieroglyphics about death, rebirth, transformation. So it'd be cool if I was a writer for the show, I would do my research and I would find all those matching hieroglyphics.
Yep.
Absolutely. But they look just a little different. They don't look
right, because it's got that alien spin to them. So that's the cool part. Yeah.
That's hecka cool. Oh my God. Okay, this is getting really good.
So then Act 2, Scene 3, back to you.
Yep. Act 2, Scene 3.
Let's check now.
So now we are on somewhat probable. I think we are going to lose this person. I just got to tell you, I just don't feel good about this.
Oh, not another casualty.
I know.
Okay, so 1 to 12, 13 to 20, 18. They have expired.
Oh my goodness, this is major. Sorry, I take death very seriously. Life is sacred. Life is sacred, even in a game.
So that's a great question. So how does that impact you and the Romulan? Like, here you are. What were you doing before this? You were
we were trying to figure out if this thing's sentient.
Yeah, and you're figuring out that it's sentient, and then the next logical step would be to realize this is a hack. This is a cybersecurity issue. It's not just that they're sentient. There's also something else going on here. But as you're starting to work on that, the Romulan says, Commander, you better come over here. And then the body has you just either they just expire, or you get a little dramatic moment of of them dying. Oh man, so
can I try to revive them?
Sure.
Right? I have medicine 4.
They're dying.
So maybe my action this time is, and if I was a writer for this, I would actually make this a time to get into the subject of the loss as a refugee that Bamal had, and how on a ship they were often like this. They didn't have full medical facilities, that it's something he got used to, that he closed himself off about it. Like I would actually get into this character even more, because we know that at some point he's going to sabotage. And I would write a connection between, we can't let AI do this to us. This AI just killed this junior officer. A sentient machine just killed them without conscience. But it was just a reaction. We know as an accident, but I'm going to see if I can revive this character. Again, I'm using at this point, I think I should be using daring plus medicine, right?
Yeah. I'm almost wondering, did we have a not that your character would necessarily know, but did we put in a mechanic into Captain's Log for like opportunity costs, like gear? Because I'm almost wondering, like we're in an ancient Egyptian tomb. There could be like a medicine bundle or something here that you recognize, and you're like, hey, maybe just arbitrarily add a threat.
I think I think we should roll it, but because it's me and you're the Egyptologist, your character, I think it's improbable that I would recognize something like that. So go ahead and roll. Let's see. Because I could say that I've done this LARP before with him, and last time he showed me a medicine bundle, but improbable. What do you get?
That works. All right. I'm flipping to the improbable. Hang on a second. So improbable is 1 to 5, 6 to 20. Well, I rolled a 15, so you weren't paying attention during that session.
Okay. So let me just go for a straight revive. I'm rolling 5 and 19. So yes, I revive for 1 round. It means that we
revive or stabilize. How about stabilize?
Yeah, I like that. Stabilize.
They're not going to die, but they still need to get to sick bay.
Yeah, and I like that because it actually keeps me from having to solve the problem. I'm focused on now healing somebody and getting to know this character as that will play toward the end of at the end of Act 2, Scene 5. We would have figured he's going to start freaking out and having that crisis of conscience.
Well, yeah, and so tied into that, then is this an opportunity in this scene while you are busy reviving the injured party? Is this a chance for the Romulan to maybe make a roll to try to identify what is this program, right? Like it's sentient, but like what is it?
Yeah. They're an intelligence officer, so I think so. So should we do a 50-50 on that?
Yeah, because they don't need stats. So we can just do just a straight up 50-50 roll here. And I rolled a 9. So whatever the question is, it's a yes.
Yeah. So to figure out that, basically figure out how this thing is communicating through hieroglyphics, right?
Mm-hmm. I think it's Badal, isn't it?
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Badal.
To figure out how this thing's communicating. So you're getting your hands dirty, stabilizing the officer.
Mm-hmm.
And in the meantime, Badal's picked up the tricorder, I guess, and is looking at the readings. It's like, Commander, I think this is a bloody sentient cybersecurity program of some sort.
And I like this because while your captain is fascinated and trying to make first contact, Badal is going to start we need to destroy this and get out of here. We have a life on the line.
Mm-hmm.
And meanwhile, the whole ship is already life on the line, and we don't even know that right now. They're being crushed to death slowly.
Right.
Okay, this is a great episode. Sorry. Okay, Scene 4. Okay, back to Captain, Neelix, and 1 Junior. I love that we're playing in different scenes. This is the first time we've done that. This is cool.
This is cool. Yeah. So we're banking that bit until the end of the act. So where are we?
So you're establishing communication with this thing. You're figuring out how to read it. We got to figure out if you know how to input information to it
Right. So I'm reading what they're saying. Now can I communicate with them? How would I do that? I would either have to change the hieroglyphs so that they understand that I'm receiving the message. Um is there another way I could do it?
Are there tools that you would need to interface and create hieroglyphics like clay and tapping and
Yeah, I could pull up a tablet and a stylus and try writing, but because I don't know their language, am I able to intuit enough of the language, the change language that they're the combined language? Can I have to figure out, can I understand enough of that I can get a message across to them? So I mean, that's what the shot.
Yeah, and you have diplomacy too.
I do have diplomacy, right? So
Right.
I think the first task, maybe the diplomacy comes in Act 3. The first task is, can I communicate with them? Right? They can communicate with me, and I'm getting it with the pictographs. Can I use my tricorder to project images?
Tricorder, you're in the holodeck,
Right.
and you were LARPing as Egyptologists.
Right, yeah, screw that. I don't know. Well, then how did you guys figure it out? How it's a cybersecurity thing? I guess you're just looking at it.
No, we're gonna have to still figure it. We know it's information, and the holodeck is we're viewing it as a holodeck malfunction.
Yeah, you're right.
You're viewing it as a sentient, right?
Okay. So I'm literally picking up a stylus and a tablet and writing, hoping I can get a message across. So that's going to be reason
or insight. Which one? Reason? Okay.
Reason science again, I guess.
Reason 10 plus.
And again, no focus here is in that, because this isn't specifically religious traditions.
Correct.
Although I guess it could be, because it's all about rebirth and regeneration. And maybe some of the pictographs are oriented toward the religious practices. So if you're okay with that,
I think totally. I think that's the whole basis of this episode, is that you're using that as the language to communicate.
Okay, so 14 with the focus then. I rolled a 2 and a 12. So that's nice. That's a success with the momentum.
Yeah.
And I think, do I want to just create a advantage? We haven't actually rolled an advantage yet in this episode.
That's true. You haven't.
Maybe I'll do that. Where's that's on 260 something?
You're on page 268.
268. Here we go. So advantage. Let's try that. Let's see what we get here. I rolled a 6. That is a helpful species primitive.
Oh my god, that's perfect. We're taking you back in time already. We said we're taking you back to Egypt. Oh my goodness.
The helpful species is human, and they're primitive. They're primitive, at least by our standards.
Right. Oh my goodness.
Time, but primitive by our standards.
So we bank until the end of Act 2.
Yep, and we're
along with the other one. Oh, this is scary, wonderful.
So yes, I am communicating with them, saying yes, here's what we need to do, or yes, message received. I'm understanding it. And I guess the alien species is able to create that temporal dilation.
Yes.
Because they realize that, okay, situation's bad here in the current era. So we're going to go back in time to where we can probably figure this out.
Yeah. Yeah. This is amazing. I mean, I just think this episode should just be called like Stargate.
Nice.
Okay.
We could find something appropriately Egyptian.
Yes. Okay, so now we're at the point of we're going to go back. I stabilize. The person didn't die. I was able to stabilize them. So now it's 50-50 if they're going to survive through this round. This is scary. This poor.
Well, do you stabilize them though? So would you bump it back up, or are they just stabilized as in not dead?
Yeah, exactly. They're not dead, but it's still getting worse. We're not in sick bay yet, right?
Okay.
I'm actually starting to feel that my job for this character in Act 3 is to try to get us to sick bay or to get us out of here. That's all. That's all my character would be obsessed with at this point. I could care less about these hieroglyphics, but I need to at some point catch that Badal is trying to sabotage. I just need to keep a side eye on this person.
Yeah, so somewhere in here, we have to connect, and so that the captain can explain what's happening. And Badal can say, "Wait, we don't want that to happen."
Well, I actually think end of scene 5, when the door, when you're all transported back in time and the doors open to ancient Egypt, we both walk out of our different antechambers. We walk out of those and we see each other, and I'm like, Captain?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, would we all look human? Would we go back in time and kind of transform into human shapes, assuming that we're actually, because like an Anar and a Talaxian would not look right.
Yeah, but that's okay because as we know, the Egyptian pantheons took on different heads of different animals.
Good point. Oh, look at you.
I'd look like a guinea pig and you look like a snail, I guess.
Oh man, that's crazy. Okay, I'm good with that. Let's do it.
Right. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. Injured puncture. Are they okay? 50-50. Roll on the 50-50 if they die at this point or if they're still.
I rolled a 6, so they're okay. They're hanging on.
Okay. And I'm gonna say, just for the sake of how the game actually plays with injuries most of the time, if this person dies again, done deal, unless we have Egyptian ancient medics who are there who can actually save them. We'll talk about that later, right?
Oh, puncture in the moon in the head, that's nothing. That's no big deal.
Oh yeah, exactly. They were extracting brains out of an entire nose, so that, or out of a little nose hole. Okay, so we're at they're alive. We know now at scene 5, we need to decide. We need to make a decision that I have a moment's respite to be with the Romulan, and that I think that they're going to be like, the holodeck is malfunctioning. I think we need to destroy what's going on. We need to do something and stop what's going on here because the computer's out of. Well, I thought you thought it might be sentient. No, there's no way to really know that. And if it is, believe me, we really need to destroy it. Mm-hmm. So I need to have an argument with them as to whether we should destroy it or not.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And them armed with the facts as it is that the captain told us it's sentient, and it appears to be a cyber attack on our system. So clearly it's a threat.
Yes. So I think I should at this point be using presence plus command to try to calm them down.
Uh-huh.
Right. So I'm going to go presence 9, being like, well, let's slow down a little bit. What do you mean slow down? Someone's dying here, Commander. Right. Mm-hmm. So I'm going presence plus what did I say? Command 3. Yep. And I don't have any applicable skills at this point. Yeah, my Xenocyber security is not kicking in yet because this is just more of an argument. And if I fail, then I'm going to start working with them to destroy what's going on with this computer to get us out. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to just say my character is going to believe them and start working with them until I have some other turning point, which is meeting you at the end of this act. So let's see what happens.
Okay.
I rolled a 17 and a 6. So based off of that, I order them to stand down. So we're having our own confrontation now.
Yep.
At this point.
And then as that argument gets to a head and they're kind of ready to stand down, that's when everything shifts and changes. And all of a sudden, end of Act 2, we're in actual ancient Egypt.
Yeah.
The doors open up. We're dressed in our LARPing costumes. But
that's true. We're like 18th century, right?
Yeah, but now
19th century. Yeah.
Now it's for, we're in 18th century garb, but now we're in ancient Egypt.
19th century garb, right? It would be 19th century?
19th century.
Yeah, 19th century. Garb.
And what's happening in the tomb? It's probably before Tut's brought in.
Was that 2500? Approximately?
Oh,
2500 BC?
It was the 1800s BC. I don't have any. I'd have to Google for an exact date.
Okay, let's go 1800s BC.
Yeah.
BC.
That's not quite right, but I'll find the actual date later.
Yeah, that's fine.
If I were writing this as a screenplay, I would do the research.
Exactly. Okay, so walk out, and so then I just see crowds of people as we come out of these anti-chambers. There's probably some sort of religious ceremonies going on because we decided.
Oh, maybe it's the burial. Maybe maybe they're on the way to bring Tut in, and we're coming out as they're getting ready to come in with Tut and company, right? So we're back in time, and maybe the tomb is largely empty because they haven't brought all this stuff in yet.
They're going to try to bury us with them.
They're like, no, I don't think so. I think we're coming out as they're going in. They're like, whoa, wait a minute, the gods are coming out. What's happening here?
Okay, wow. Okay, this is such a good scene. Okay, we got to roll 2 more threats. It's the end of the season 5.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
so this is a different kind of threat, though. I want to say this is a different kind of threat, Jim. I almost want to chat GPT this again. Like, give me 20 random horrible things. I don't know. That's too technical. I don't think chat GPT could do that. So should we just roll on the complication table or the threat table?
Well, I'm thinking, so the threats are going to be related to ancient Egypt, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And to the burial, and to the religious practices.
We can create them ourselves. Like, we can say one of the threats is captured, surrounded with a bunch of people by spears, and arrows.
I'm just trying to think of a way we could use Chat GPT, not necessarily to create 20. We could have it create 10 and then just play with the
Okay, I'm gonna say create a table of
random table of
10
10
dangerous situations that could occur. Watch this during an
ancient Egyptian burial.
Yeah, an ancient. Let's see what happens. Egyptian.
Let's test out GPT here. Let's see what.
We are totally trying it. Egyptian burial ritual.
Yeah. Let's see what this AI's got.
Okay, create a table of 10 dangerous situations that could occur during an ancient Egyptian burial ritual for King Tut. Right?
Yeah, if you want to get really specific, sure. What?
Go for it.
Are you kidding me?
Roll one. Let's just roll one. We see it here.
Dude, this is not healthy.
Roll one. Just, we know that we're dividing
right. by. I'm rolling a 16, so that would be let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So disease outbreak, exposure to ancient pathogens or bacteria that might still be present in the tomb. Oh yeah, okay.
I love it. Okay, so remember, this could also be an interpretive threat from the AI symbolic. So as it opens, there's no reason why it could not interpret a plague of some sort coming out. I mean, we talk about plague of locusts. We know the 10 plagues of Egypt, right? A plague could come out and start harming them, which increases the threat level. That this is actually happening back in time, and this could crush the Federation if it goes through, because humanity could end up dying, right? So we could create that element.
Sure.
Right. So I say we just let it be bad, and in Act 3 we undo all the bad. That's our job, right?
And the second one.
Do we roll a third one? Second. Yeah.
Do you want the second one to be off the same table, or do you want something different?
I could roll what kind of disease would exist back then.
Or do we want a threat related to what's happening to the ship in terms of like what's happening to the crew while all this is happening?
Yep. Let's go back to page. I like that. Let's go back to page 278 and decide what that is.
So you want a random threat spend here?
Yeah.
Okay. So a random one is going to be ship in distress.
Ooh, perfect.
Which is, is us.
Right.
And the issue is life support failing.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah, it sure does. So not only is the crew all squashed to the floor and having difficulty moving, but now life support's failing because the ship is under terrific gravimetric distress and it's starting to come apart at the seams, and we just don't realize it because actually we don't realize it because now we're in ancient Egypt.
This is such a scary episode. I'm sorry. I'm traumatized.
Yeah, we're completely out of touch with the rest of the ship, so we don't know what's happening. We just know all of a sudden we're in ancient Egypt, and we just the plague on the ancient Egyptians.
Man, so really, this is great. So we're shocked. We're just totally flabbergasted. We're gonna have to figure out if this is real. But let's first say we're reunited in ancient Egypt.
Yep. Or an ancient Egypt analog, right? Because it's ancient Egypt, but it's also this alien.
Correct. So we need to, I think at this point, we need to decide how the alien appears now that it took us back in time. How does it appear, and then roll on its motivations, right?
Yeah.
So this is the time to do it. Things are really bad. We're in a really bad situation, people. So this is where we start rolling allies and adversaries. So we have to figure out what form it appears in first, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What form does sentient machine appear in? It could be a structure. It could be a person. What do you think? Should we roll on the life form tables?
Yeah.
Okay. So page, you think we should start at 280?
286?
Yep, 286. So yeah, under life form origins.
Well, we know it's a go up to the top of the thing. It's a sentient something, right? It's
A sentient machine.
a sentient machine, right? So we know it's a machine.
Right.
But we want more detail here, right? So do we want to roll on the life form origin? I mean, life form origin, I feel like we know it's a machine.
You're right. But we should really try to figure out. Let's just go to its motives then. Let's go straight to tactics and all that stuff. What do you think?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
So that's on 284.
We're going to start with 284. Yeah, traits.
Cultural traits is 6. That's exploration.
Ooh.
And then its goals is earn someone's respect.
Do you like that one? Oh, maybe earn ours?
Earn our respect?
Yeah, like to recognize that it's a sentient and we need to help it through the process.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that works. Tactics. Well, I think we kind of already identified its tactics as using so it wants to protect secrets, but actually I think it's actually revealing secrets because it's showing us what it needs in order to
I like that. Let's just go with that.
Revealing secrets. Okay.
Yeah, to try to like establish a dialogue, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that a lot. So why did it bring us back in time? It's to establish a dialogue, but why did it have to bring us here?
I think it's because the ship is a wreck, and the ship does the technology of the ship's not going to be able to help, right? So
Yeah.
there's got to be some sort of ancient Egyptian ritual that the captain can perform to release the life form from its chrysalis state, so that it can actually finish the transformation. Like we were saying, it's stuck in the matrix of the holodeck. So it pushed us back to the ancient Egypt so that I can get the proper tools.
I like that. Copper. Maybe copper is the key.
Like I can grab something from the priest, and the priest is like, WTF? And I grab it. And then we whisk back to the real time.
Okay, so before we get there, then we have to do the chase scene, right? We have so first we have to figure out, are the Egyptians, the ancient Egyptians, going to chase us? Yeah, are they going to try to capture us?
Well, gosh, the poor ancient Egyptians, we not only did we walk out of the tomb looking like looking like aliens or gods, then we dropped the plague on them.
Yeah.
So they're probably scattered to the four winds, right? They're running away, dropping all their stuff and running. Some of the soldiers might stop and fight though.
Yes.
So maybe the captain knows that they have to grab, a couple specific props or MacGuffins, but while I'm grabbing those MacGuffins, we got to dodge arrows.
Okay, so at some point as we exit, then it seems to me like the hieroglyphics spread out under our feet and indicate to you certain popular religious sites that we need to go to collect special items and get back to the temple. No?
I'm just thinking we're in Act 3, so if we start going on a scenic tour to get different fetch quests,
it has to be time. It almost like, imagine if the plague separates the crowd, right? Yeah. A lot of people land out, spreads the crowd out, and all of a sudden the ground through cybernetic, now we're clear that this is binary, that this is cybernetic, just because the way it spreads out, that it starts creating a path to where we need to go. And so all of a sudden we have Badal, the Romulan, thinking like, okay, I don't know what's going on here, but we're going to have to destroy this thing, while you're saying this is our clue to getting out of here.
Right. That works for me. I like that.
So we have to grab a special item or get to a location to solve a clue.
Mm-hmm.
Again, if we were writing in the writer's room, we'd figure this all out. But for right now, we're just creating what the conflict type tension is. So I think at this point, you would have to roll. I think we should roll to keep from getting captured, though, to run along this path. Don't you think?
Well, I don't know if it's being captured. I think we have to roll to keep from getting shot. Right?
Yeah.
But I'm liking your argument though is that the captain and Badar get into the argument, and then the commander's got to choose sides here, right? Because so to speak, because the captain's like, no, we've got to do this thing because of the thing, and Badar's like, no, this is an evil AI that's trying to hack our system and destroy us. That's the dilemma.
Yeah.
Where's the commander fall into that? Who's he going to go with? Who are they going to go with?
Confused because I think I need to do a Xeno cybersecurity roll on this to determine if I even have the capability to destroy it.
Yeah,
I'd want to know that.
Yeah,
right. Could I hack this thing? Because you've already established that you can communicate, which means give computer input. And now I need to start figuring out, okay, if worse comes to worse, can I do this?
Right.
I'm having the crisis of conscience now.
You're having the crisis of conscience.
And Badal is the impetus to me have that crisis of conscience.
Okay. That works for me.
Right. That's the devil on my shoulder in a sense. So yeah. I think first, do I think I could program a destruct code if I think this is getting really bad?
Yep.
That's going to be daring. No, that's going to be control, which is 11 plus engineering, which is 1, or science 2. I think engineering 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to have to go science 2 because otherwise I don't have a chance for a double roll, even though I have a focus. So here's rolling for that. I have to beat 13, 17 and 3. So I think if I need to, I can destroy this virus.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because I'm into learning alien computer languages and I'm starting to understand this. Now that you told me this, I can start decrypting. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm keeping that in the back, and I give Badal a look like we may have to take this out to save humanity. I'm doubting that we're still back in time. I don't know how we're going to prove we're still back in time, though.
Right, and then if we destroy the virus, we save humanity, but we kill this sentient life form.
Can you convince me that we're back in time? That's the thing.
Can I convince you of that?
Yeah, because I'm not. I'm still. We're in a holodeck. This is a little too far fetched, and I'm like, Captain, we're not in we're in the holodeck, Captain. There's no way. We got cast back to ancient Egypt and Earth.
Would you just make that a probability, or would you make that an imposed roll?
I would impose it. How good do you know? How can you point out stuff to convince me? Wouldn't that be you trying to convince me? Like a presence plus
presence science.
Yeah, you got to
leading into the focus to say, look, this is real. Here's how we know it's real. Look at this and this and this.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know what you would oppose that with.
No, there's no oppose. You either succeed or you don't.
Oh, I just roll. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So presence science is 11 and 4, so that's 15.
Yeah.
And I rolled 2 5s.
Okay. So plus 1 mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is good because I want to go back to what we saved. Remember, we saved the temporal dilation buys you time, which it really does now. We know our ship is. In fact, this is great. If you think about it, if I was writing the scene, by the end of Act 5, our people are on the verge of death. Life support's happening, but being cast back in time buys you time.
Right.
Now we also know we have the helpful species, the primitive human. So you're going to have to do some diplomacy. And I think key to solving this is an ancient human actually helping us. Maybe even King Tut himself. I don't know. He's dead. You say he's dead. So
he's dead. So I think it's going to be like the high priest or something.
Yeah.
Who, if I can make a diplomacy roll, I can explain to them what I need, and they can. Maybe that's the advantage, is that they're a helpful species. So they could give me a hand in helping.
That's right. Yeah. In fact, there's a friendly alien encounter table. It's an alien to you because you're Anar and I am.
Yeah. What page is that on?
Page 276 has a friendly alien encounter table.
276. Okay.
So you could roll that with your momentum.
So this would probably be scene 3 then, right? So scene 2 was me convincing you that this is real. And
Yep.
you need to not destroy this virus because we need it. And if we're successful, it won't matter anyway, because we're gonna go back forward in time and the virus won't actually have mattered.
Exactly.
So
and
then
now
act 3 scene 3 is going to be the captain making the diplomacy attempt. However, we need to go back a bit. I think act 3 scene 1, do we need to roll to see if you're
I do. You're right. I need to do that right here in scene 2, actually, because I did it here.
We did it. So act 3 scene 1.
Oh, you're right. I need to do it
because we're together now, right?
Yep. So I need to do it here. So
now
this is going to be somewhat improbable now.
Okay, so that's what 1 to.
Yeah, this really. I hope they live, because this is going to be sad. Yeah, this is going to really push them all over the edge.
We're somewhat improbable now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I rolled a 4.
Woo!
Still hanging on.
This is incredible. It really is. I expect this person to die at any moment. Oh my god. Okay, so do we have to roll that again at the end of scene 2? Scene 2.
Yeah. Although I wonder, do you want to have a potential out here? Like, could one of the ancient Egyptians kind of see the NPC and say, "Hey, that dude's not looking so good. Can I help you with that?"
Yeah. So I think you know what? Let's roll act 3 scene 2. I'm gonna roll it one more time, right? Because here's the thing: they can die and still be triaged, right? Or still be safe. So again, Jim, at the end of scene 2. Before you actually make the diplomatic move, let's check. And this time it's improbable. Roll D20.
Wait, didn't we just?
We did somewhat improbable.
Sorry, I see. You cut and pasted. I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
I rolled a 4.
Oh my goodness!
This is the little NPC that could. They just.
I'm in love with this character.
Don't want to give it up. They are determined not to die.
I love this character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't even have a name yet. Don't even know what they look like.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So now Captain makes diplomatic overture to ancient Egyptian priest.
Yep. So this is going to be, have to be presence and command with a diplomacy focus.
Right. And if so, then you'll roll on. Well, you're going to roll on friend. Well, you had the advantage of friendly alien counter already. You didn't roll on it.
Oh, so are we just going to, by fiat, we've succeeded?
I think so, with an advantage, right?
Yeah, but I mean, there could be a complication. You never know.
Okay, let's have fun with it. You know me. So with this presence plus what?
Presence and command, right?
Or well, you're trying to get this. You're just trying to, yeah, exactly, because you're just trying to create an ally. Yes.
Yeah, presence. So yeah,
with 11, diplomacy as
11-4 with the diplomacy focus. So 15 plus diplomacy. I rolled a 3 and a 4, so that's super successful.
Yeah. So now we have 2 advantages, or an additional momentum. So now roll on the friendly encounter table 276.
276. Yep. I just rolled a 4. They deliver good news. Well, guess what? Here's what you need.
That's great. Okay. Yep. Here's what you need. Yay. I'll put a smiley face here, because if we were writing this later, we'd make that up what that is.
The opening the mouth ceremony. That's what you need. Here's the wand that you need to do the opening the mouth ceremony. Here's the words. Here's the scroll that you need to incant the spell.
Yep. And do you need to roll it? You have a momentum here, so do you want to use it for an advantage roll at this point?
Well, is this where I could use that momentum advantage to have the ancient Egyptian medic give your poor NPC a heal?
An oh, by the way,
the equivalent of the equivalent of a stim shot or something.
Yep. So there you go, on junior officer. You like that?
Pulls out the puncture wound, whatever, and bundles up the wound and actually stabilizes them. Is that too much for an advantage?
No, I love that. And then, so I could picture exactly what Act 4, Scene 4 has to be at this point. It's me stopping when I catch that the Romulan Badal is actually trying to destroy the entity. Now, should I talk them out of it, or do I have to outsmart them with using my computer skills to retroact it?
Well, you're trying to stop Badal, right?
Yes, because Badal now is trying to sabotage. Remember, it was sabotage the operation. So at this point, they're freaking out that there's this entity, it's sentient, it's machine, it's interfacing, messing with gravity, messing with time. Do they try to go stab the computer interface, the ancient computer interface, or shatter the hieroglyphics? Do they do something like that? And do I have to talk them down, or do I have to physically stop them, or cyber stop them?
Well, we don't have any technology, right? So it would have to be you either talk them down or you physically stop them. So that would be a character choice. What's your character most likely to do? Would they go for the physical solution, or would they go for the talkie out of it part?
My fitness is 9 and security 4.
Mm-hmm.
My presence is 9 and command is 3. So really, I do better chance knocking them out.
And what are your values?
I can make something from nothing. I will break the rules for family. That's all I have.
See, I wouldn't lean into I wouldn't necessarily lean into the stats. I'd be like, this is a character choice, right? This isn't, whether you're stronger or a better talker.
You're right. I would talk because I understand. Remember, while we were going through all these scenes of just healing the person, I was learning about this character's background, and I feel for their pain, but you can't judge everybody the same, even sentient life forms.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at the miracles around us. This universe has so much to explore. You would end this?
Mm-hmm.
This is rebirth. And then the captain would step in. This is rebirth, transformation. You can't define all life in one way.
Yeah.
Right?
This is a character moment for your character. So I almost feel like this is if you're going to go with the talkie route, this is an opportunity for you to create a new value.
I think so. So in that way I can roll. If I mess up on this, I can re-roll because I have the value. So I think in this case, it's we must attempt to cherish all life in all forms, even when we don't understand it.
I like it.
Okay. So I think that's a good value here. All right. So this is going to now be a presence plus command at this point. So that's going to be a total. I need to hit the total of 9 plus 3, 12 to make this work. Rolling a 7 and an 8. Good.
Nice.
So I'll save that momentum. Okay. This is really cool. What are you picturing for scene 5?
Well, that's the big finale, right? So
yep.
So we get the stuff we need with our helpful buddy gives us the stuff we need. So we've got the solution to fix it. You've talked down the Romulan and convinced them that we can't destroy it. So then we walk back into the tomb. That takes us back to the present. So we're back in the holodeck of the ship that's just being destroyed all around us, but we don't know it.
That's my question. I think I would almost
gotta know.
I think we walk back in, and the entity is a favor. We don't even run into the gravimetric distortion now. This solved it. So we are on time for the diplomatic conference with Neelix. We all experienced this in the holodeck. The rest of the ship was like, huh?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So we go back to the holodeck. We perform the ritual. It's almost anticlimactic to roll at this point. I think we got the pieces we need. Let's just do it.
Yeah.
No roll, no task roll here, or maybe even just a difficulty 0 if you really want to make the player.
Well, the captain's log, no difficulty.
Yeah.
Difficulty 1.
Oh yeah, good. Yeah. Good point. Thanks for the reminder.
Right.
Jeez. Anyway, so no, we just go. Act 5 is we do the thing, solve it, and then we get a magical moment of the alien life form free from the shackles of the temporal and gravimetric distortions, it transforms into whatever amazing CGI effect it transforms into. The gravimetric distortions stop. The ship is no longer rocked by damage, or is no longer rocked by
How about this?
horrible things that were happening.
Ship is no longer in danger and never was.
Oh, well, was it never?
Well, because no, here's my point. Their experience outside at the end of Act 2 was getting crushed, killed, blown out of breaches. It was horrible. We're in the safety of time, and coming back, the creature who apparently creates, controls gravity and time, sets it so that there's a blip on the sensors of a gravimetric distortion, but we pass right by it. Like, we're alerted from holodeck, like, sir, we're picking up a gravimetric distortion. And by the time, like, okay, we all look at each other like, oh no. We get on the sensors like, oh, never mind. It dissipated. We're not tracking it now. And we're on time. No? 2 week? See what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. So are you saying, like, is this? I mean, I feel like we just did this in an episode where we did. Where we got
you're right. We
got the redo, right? So it's like,
right.
Oh, that didn't happen, but we remember it happened.
Yeah, we don't want to do that again. You're right.
Yeah, we don't want to do that again. So I think there was some real damage done to the ship, but not so horrible that we can't make it to Neelix's asteroid. So, but I think the captain and the crew that were in the holodeck were unaware of the significance of the damage.
Yeah, I like that.
So we're like, wait, what happened? And everybody else is like, well, this happened. What were you doing? And then we have the whole explanation. It was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and I like that. And I love dropping a sensor buoy to tell people to avoid this part of space because a transformation is in progress.
Yeah.
That is outside of space and time.
Right. So just avoid this area.
I like that a lot. Oh my goodness, that was great. That was so cool.
Yeah. So that was a little longer than I expected. Sorry if we kept this later, but that was really good. That was a cool episode.
Hey, people can fast forward it anytime they want to. This is us having fun, and this is our showing how to play Captain's Log. That was an hour and 30, going on an hour and 30 minutes, maybe. Yeah,
and we added some new stuff to our characters.
Oh yeah,
and we had a really cool episode, and we fleshed out another NPC on the ship. Actually, exactly. 2 of them, right? Because that NPC who was dying and just refused to give up.
Oh, my hero.
We got to get them in there as we got to get them in there as a character. We got to give them a name and some personality and stuff.
Yeah. And then we have the jerk kiss up character.
What was that guy doing?
Has to come back again. And Badal, I really like Badal, actually.
Yeah.
I think Badal might be a regular.
Right.
Oops. Yeah. So
transfer your ass off the ship. you go be a cultural attaché with Neelix.
I love kiss ups. So we gotta go with that. Okay, cool. All right. Well, for the sake of time, then let's wrap this up and say our thank yous. Okay. I'm gonna go straight to gratitude, Jim. We have from our friend Liwanika, of course, Miller. A shout out to the entire cast of Star Trek Preservation, co-GM Josh Newton. They've gamed with great role players over the years, but few tables have driven them to be more creative and left them in awe as the crew. And he mentions Joseph Harney, Adam Scaramella, David Rideout, Glenn Meyer, Lacey Knudsen. So I really love the fact that Liwanika wanted to do a shout out to his crew. And we're our crew of 2 here. It's so fun. But for everybody, cherish the times you have when you have great players and great experiences like this. It's truly wonderful. So thank you to all you great GMs and players out there. Jim?
Yeah. Michael, I'm going to be, I mean, you'll I don't know how you feel. I'm going to thank you because you do such a great job of maintaining the continuing mission schedule or the continuing conversation schedule. And I love the fact that you have been able to build in little moments, like little occasional episodes where we can do something like this and just play and have fun. And obviously I love interviewing our guests. I love having guests on the show to riff with and talk with, but sometimes it's nice to just play the game. And I'm grateful that you manage that schedule in such a way that we are able to drop these in from time to time and just have fun because
tonight was epic. Great. Tonight was epic. We went back to ancient Egypt, Jim.
It was so cool.
Star Trek.
So great gratitude to you, and then also gratitude as always to the fans for playing the game, for inspiring me every day when I read your stuff. I watch the Twitches, I watch the YouTube channels, I read the reviews. I love watching you guys and gals and non-binaries and everything else. I love all you people, great people playing the game and it inspires me to want to play it. And that's why I was so excited, looking forward to this episode with you, Michael, to like, oh, I get to play now. I get to have some fun and take a break from all the editing and writing and development, and now I can just play. So it was a lot of fun. So grateful to all the fans. Thanks for inspiring me to do cool stuff with the stuff that we've made that sometimes I lose sight of because I'm so busy making the next thing. So thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
Indeed. All right, everyone. Until next time, the conversation continues. IDIC.
Live long and prosper. Be safe. Be well. We'll see you soon.